roll the tape.
Scroll sandwiches.
Or virtual tape.
Of the
So-
digital.
Okay, we're gonna
Yeah.
start right now
So-
with Courtney.
My name's Courtney Heiss, as you probably all know already, and I'm doing my presentation on different language learning resources and things, and just so you know, I will be talking about different levels of language learning or fluency, and my rough definition is beginner, you know some basic words and phrases. Intermediate, you can understand simple sentences and simple text. And advanced is anywhere from being able to read middle school level text all the way up through fully fluent.
Excellent.
So Duolingo is the primary resource I've used for self-taught language learning. It has many languages available, iOS, Android, and web, and you can usually get up to high beginner, low intermediate, depending on which course.
Okay.
Memrise has a ton of languages, both official courses and user-created content. It is also iOS, Android, and web, and because its focus is on vocabulary, you can get up to intermediate or advanced vocabulary, but you may not be as fluent in putting together sentence structures unless you complement it with other material. Mango is an app through I believe it's iOS and Android. You get, if your library participates, which I know at least most of the libraries in the area, including Chicago, Evanston, and Highland Park, do, you can get free access to it. Doesn't seem as comprehensive as Duolingo or Memrise in my experience, so you can probably get upper beginner, low intermediate with it. And Tiny Cards is a flashcard app by Duolingo that is, of course, purely used for building vocabulary. So I'm not even going to say a fluency level because it's just vocabulary packages. It's currently iOS only. There's rumors there might be an Android version eventually, but if you use Android, you're currently out of luck.
And are there like hundreds and hundreds of these cards that you can generate?
There's a ton, both officially generated by Duolingo and user created.
Oh, that's
Tons
right.
of different topics, tons of different languages, some that aren't even language learning based. And bilingual dictionaries are an amazing resource to have. I suggest go, especially if you're learning a more common language like French or Spanish or Italian or something, go to a used bookstore, because everyone who was required to buy a dictionary for a language class in high school or college and then didn't keep up with that language will sell it back to a used bookstore at some point, and then you can get it pretty cheap.
You can also find them online.
Right?
Yeah,
Online,
you can
but
find
like
some
YouTube.
online, you can find some on apps, but I personally have the most luck going to used bookstores for both my bilingual dictionaries and my monolingual lingual dictionaries, because I know at least at Market Fresh Books in Evanston, if it doesn't sell in a certain time period, it's eventually marked down to 99 cents, including if it's a BizFig comprehensive dictionary.
Okay, perfect.
And then once you get, say, partway through the Duolingo tree or complete the Duolingo tree, it's a really good idea to add in other speaking and listening resources like podcasts, books in the target language, especially ones written in middle grades or YA that you've read in English are really great to reread in your target language, especially if you already know the story.
And you did that with Harry Potter, didn't you?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And live radio streams or TV broadcasts of sporting events. And also, this was announced after I put this together, but if you're a Chicago baseball fan or a Blue Jays fan, and you have a subscription to CSN and you're learning Spanish, tonight, Blue Jays at White Sox, and tomorrow, Diamondbacks at Cubs are CSN's first ever Spanish language baseball broadcasts. They are on CSN Plus, CSNChicago.com, and the NBC Sports Live Extra app.
Neat.
Any questions?
I would say,
Yes.
I don't know if
Lauren?
that's about
Yeah, and then you can be after Lauren.
My first question is, have you learned any languages with other alphabets?
I'm actually currently doing Russian on Duolingo, and it's tricky learning the alphabet, but it's definitely doable. And I know for your area of interest, Duolingo just introduced Japanese.
Thank goodness.
And did you have a second question,
I've
Lauren?
been learning Japanese for 4 years-ish in college, but
That's your other way.
I hit a plateau in terms of Japanese.
Lauren, did you have a second question? Because then Daniel had a
Yeah.
question.
So you mentioned a lot of these apps, but like, what makes them different from each other? Like, what are the interfaces?
So Duolingo is focused on, can you converse, or, well, not necessarily spoken, because like I have it so you don't speak to the app, so I can do it anywhere, but it's focused on putting together sentences, and you learn some vocabulary, but a lot of it is by context in the sentence. Memorize is based on learning vocabulary and memorizing different words, and they make you review it in multiple different ways until you get to getting the word correct with 100% accuracy. And Mango, I haven't used as much as the other two, but they teach you the vocabulary, then they put it together in the sentences, then they make you pick out different parts of the sentences.
One more observation, I don't know, you may get into this later, but one of the really effective ways of learning language is conversing with someone who speaks
Yes,
like
I
it.
actually haven't put that on this presentation, and I do have a couple more slides, but I figured this was an appropriate question time. But yes, definitely, once you've had experience with other resources, check out meetup groups, see if there's any for your target language, or groups at public library. So I know when I was in Colorado, there was a weekly French conversation group at our public library, so I just bike over there every week and spend an hour or two talking to people in French.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the best way to learn any language is to speak and have other people
Yeah.
deal
But
with.
that's the spoken. I feel like the written you'd still have to have the actual.
You like, that's what,
Yeah, that's what book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need like books and stuff because otherwise you'll only be speaking fluent, not writing. Or,
Yeah.
like, writing and reading fluent.
Okay, next
Yeah.
Sure
slide.
gets to do all of it at
then
once.
this is
Well, you know what?
showing,
Alex.
Courtney, just a moment, I'm sorry, Alex
Yeah.
was.
Didn't see your
raising your hand also.
Which app do you recommend starting with?
I would start with Duolingo for at least the basics, and then get memorize too if you want to do memorize and or tiny cards if you want to do extra vocab practice too.
I don't know. Do you?
Alex,
Yeah.
other Alex.
Yeah, I just thought something. Do you have experience with any paid like things, or I know you're doing school, so you're taking like classes, like as far as like Rosetta Stone and stuff. Any?
My college did have a subscription to Rosetta Stone. Honestly, I think it doesn't make sense to pay for Rosetta Stone or Babbel because from what I've seen, both Rosetta Stone and Babbel, which are in the hundreds of dollar range, are very, 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 very similar to Duolingo. So why not just
Good to know.
use the free one?
Okay.
Right.
So not much difference as far as you've seen. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
Basically the same thing except one's free and the other costs hundreds of dollars.
yeah.
because continuing with the Japanese theme, there is an app I've discovered which is a fraction of the price of that particular one called Human Japanese, which is just, far as I'm concerned, it's just as good as anything Rosetta Stone has, and
Yeah,
whatever I
Rosetta
can
Stone
retain,
is basically
yeah.
the biggest rip-off in language learning because
In your opinion.
why
Yeah.
would you pay $150 for things that you can get for free?
Mhm.
And Rosetta Stone became popular because it was the first and now it's redundant. Sorry.
Does anyone else have any questions right now?
Oh, Maria had her
I
hand
just
up.
wanted to mention, to be fair, at the time when it was first created, those prices were normal, but then free apps were like,
Yeah,
the
free
thing for
apps
everything.
exploded
That's a good point.
and Rosetta Stone didn't lower their prices to compensate, so now it's a ripoff.
Oops.
Yeah.
it's like
And-
Blockbuster.
Yes, exactly.
And then I think Dunham had a question.
Okay.
It's just, my question is like, what are you aspiring to do with these languages?
Well, for French and Spanish, I studied them in school. And I was hoping to get a job that might use one or both of them. But so far, all I've really done is read the Spanish terms and conditions on Empire and switch user accounts from French to English so everyone else can use them. Which actually works, and things like why I started Swedish and Russian is because hockey is so big in those countries too, and I wanted to be able to follow players and teams elsewhere, and I know listening to Montreal Canadiens games to practice French turned me into a fan of a team, so
Nice.
maybe I find, well, I already found an SHL team, Swedish League, but I'm a fan of, maybe I'll find a KHL team too eventually, once I get enough vocabulary to actually, understand the hockey game.
Russian's a really hard
I-
language.
Yes, I keep repeating the same lessons over and over on Duolingo, but I'm making progress.
Yeah.
Slow, but progress.
I was gonna say, just in general, like having multiple languages, like that's always like a good thing to be able to put on your resume that you're fluent in more than one language. Like nobody's ever gonna like be like, oh, well, we don't want the candidate who can speak multiple languages over the one who can.
Spanish is
Especially
really
right,
good.
certain things like that.
That's why after I learned French, because of family connections, I learned Spanish because I was living in the Southwest, and it felt
Yeah.
Like, it was pointless to be in the Southwest and only speak English and French. Like, really should learn Spanish at
And
that point.
The nice thing is French and Spanish are the same language family. So
Yeah. Oh,
that must
which
be-
is
yeah, which is
Italian and
perfect
Portuguese.
segue into
Okay.
my next slide.
Yeah, we're gonna let Courtney now finish her
Yeah.
slides, and then if there's one or two questions, so then we can go on to Alex.
Yeah.
So, so I've noticed that without how all the languages I've learned to date are from the Indo-European giant family, different subfamilies, but same family. There's a couple words they realized are the same in pretty much every language. Mama and Papa. Like, French and Spanish are both Romance. Swedish and English are Germanic, and Russian is Slavic, yet, as you can tell, the words for Mama and Papa are pretty much the same in all of them.
It's not just Indo-European languages, because a lot of, in the case of Mom and Pop, it's based on the first sounds that kids learn to speak. And actually, there are a few languages that actually in reverse. That Mama means dad and Papa means mom.
But within Indo-European, it's, yeah, and, yeah.
Okay, next slide.
Next slide is showing that a different word, even within Indo-European, can be basically, it can be completely different. Like the word for hello. And in Swedish, the J is pronounced like a Y, and the A with a round circle is pronounced closer to an O, so that's actually hey, hello. Can you tell that it's closely related to English?
One of English's closest relatives.
Yeah. So yeah. Any more questions?
That's it.
I have
Yeah.
a question, Courtney. Courtney?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to exit this. Okay.
Courtney,
Yeah.
the other question was, what is the key, when you're saying these languages, to learn what they, for example, what the genders of the nouns are? How do you?
That honestly is rote memorization. There's some shortcuts, like French words that end in an E and Spanish words that end in an A are almost always feminine. But for the most part, it's rote memorization. And I know it's interesting because in Swedish, it's Swedish, the genders are male and female. They're neuter and I don't remember
Common. I don't know why I know that.
Like, I know in German it's, masculine, feminine, or neuter.
And in French and Spanish, it's just masculine or feminine.
And some languages like English don't have the
Don't
gender.
have grammatical gender at all, but
Yeah.
basically you memorize like un lune, la luna, like la lune, la luna, okay, feminine. But then I know when one of my sisters learned German, knowing some French and some Spanish, she was way thrown off by the fact that the moon is masculine in German, and she's like, it's feminine in every other language I know.
She lies.
I was gonna ask, what words have you encountered that are masculine in one language and feminine in another?
I know my sisters encountered that for the most part because the two languages I've learned where the genders are masculine and feminine are also sister languages. It's almost always the same because they're sister languages.
Is there a difference in like a certain way or not off the top of your head?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Wait, no. I just thought of some. One, la dia, el jour. La dia, le jour. It's feminine in Spanish, masculine
What
in
is
French.
that?
Day.
Oh.
Okay.
The other,
Thank you.
But French also has a feminine form, la journée. So in French, if you're talking about what you're doing all day, it's feminine. Whereas if you're talking about the day in existence, it's masculine.
Interesting.
In Spanish, it's always feminine.
and then there's some words that it could be spelled the same and could
Well,
be
that's
either
amazing.
masculine or feminine.
Well, especially
Yeah.
things like professions,
Yeah,
because
like
that
artista is, it's
because
artista.
it's because professions is usually tied to the gender of a person doing it.
Yeah, I'm just saying it could be spelled the same.
Yeah, Lauren
We'll
again.
take like a couple more questions and
Yeah.
then I think we gotta move on.
So, do you know of any resources for learning sign languages?
I know that Tiny Cards has at least one deck, and I know that Memrise has at least one or two courses. I've been looking into that too because I did a couple semesters of ASL in high school but forgot most of it. So if I find more resources, I'll let you know.
Thank
That's a
you.
good question.
There's a lot of baby apps that can teach you sign language.
Because they do those babies have.
Yeah.
Because when you have a child, they encourage you to use sign language
Yeah.
before they can speak.
My niece has learned.
So I learned some, I forgot it all, but.
My niece has learned a lot of sign language.
We'll have Alan ask the last question.
Okay,
and then
thank
we'll move
you.
on to Alex. Okay.
There are also cases where a lot of modern inventions have the same, essentially the same word. Most, like for example, television is very
Yes,
common,
yes.
almost unchanged in a lot of languages.
But
Not all of them.
then some languages get weird, especially French, because l'Académie decides, l'Académie Française, the governing body of the language, decides, we'll just come up with our own word, like computer in English, la computadora in Spanish, but in French they decided, let's make it l'ordinateur.
Okay,
I think there is
Yeah.
a Spanish word, ordenador or something like that.
Right.
That means computer as well, but computadora is more common.
by the way,
Yeah.
Icelandic is the same way as French, by the way. They have an authority on that too.
It hasn't,
Yeah.
it hasn't changed much in like 1,000 years.
Exactly.
So Courtney, so if anybody has any further questions or comments, just reach out to Courtney.
Yes, you can
Um,
always email me or message me on Slack. And also, if you want my presentation, which also has download links for the apps
Alright.
in the comments, just let me know by email or Slack, and I can share the link or.
Awesome.
Because I set it to be anyone at Aspiritech with the link, so I can just copy and paste the link if you ask me for it.
Thanks, Courtney. That was
Thank you.
great.
Good job.
Nice overall view. And now
My watch.
we have Alex, who's going to be talking to us about various
Stuff I've done, yeah.
stuff you've done, social programs.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Kill the thing, because I just have a verbal presentation. Sorry guys, I don't have pretty pictures for you. Alright, so I'll start. Hi, I'm Alex Dudasik. I work here at Aspiritech as the assistant to the Stepping Up and Out program, as well as I do the interviews and design for the TESTER-monials, which hopefully everyone has seen by now. And I also assist with some other office needs. I previously worked here at Aspiritech as a software tester, and I also work part-time at Office Max, cashiering, and also in their print department. Alright, so now I'm going to go into why I like social events and things they are important. So as you probably know, humans are a society-based species, and so it's important to work with others in the society, as Aspies often have trouble naturally fitting into social situations within the society. It is important to participate in social activities so you can learn, improve, and keep your social skills. Besides that, always being alone is unhealthy, again, because we're a society-based species. And also social activities are fun, you know, being able to share your interests and things you like with other people is fun, so. So yeah, so that's that. Now I'm going to give a little background on me and why I think it's important and stuff. So when I was young, like in elementary school, I didn't have trouble making friends. Although looking back, I realized that my mom arranged many of my social activities And I was enrolled in a lot of various extracurricular activities, including Boy Scouts, martial arts, religious education, etc., etc. And also, my mom and dad volunteered a lot at the school events and other organizations I belonged to, so they got to know the family and participants. So that was part of it. As I got to the junior high and high school years, things started to become more difficult. The friends I had either wound up moving on to other quote-unquote cooler friends, or wound up, just going location-wise, going to like a different junior high or high school. Because of this difficulty, while I was in high school, my mom formed a social outing group, and I was able to make a few friends from that, including one who was actually in the same resource as me, but didn't want to have anything to do with anyone his freshman year, which was my sophomore year, because he was treated so poorly by his peers at the junior high. Yeah. So when I got to college, even though I did have a few friends at that time, I still felt like I was missing out on social experiences and felt excluded from things. Also, there were not a lot of resources for adults with autism spectrum disorders. So again, with the help of my mom, we formed a group. Although this time was more formal, we had a name and a mission. I did a website and everything. The name was Passage, which still stands for Planning Asperger's Syndrome Success and Generating Experiences. We got some help from some professionals, including like a psychologist and a autism specialist, stuff like that. And we ran the group for 4.5 years. It was run out of Harper College, which is the community college that I went to. Although it was not an official part of the college or program. It was just, they let us host it there. So as we got feedback for Passage, we did some different kinds of things, such as we started hosting outings, and we had various speakers on many different topics, such as college transition, housing, employment, resume writing, driving, exercise, benefits, and therapy dogs, just to name a few. Some of the outings we did included things like museums, mini golfing, bowling, and we even did a trip to Wisconsin Dells. For the meetings, they were structured to have a speaker for like the first half, which would have been like an hour, and then time to socialize for the second half, so like the other hour. Eventually we realized that the group was so large, we really should be a non-for-profit, and since we were not ready to take that step, the Autism Resource Center at Alexian Brothers Hospital took over the program and named it ASD Life Transitions. But we still were part of the transition and continue to be in various close touch with the organizers, and we act as a resource and liaison for the group. My mom helped facilitate the parent portion of the meetings when they need help sometimes, and still does today. And so overall, I met a lot of individuals through Passage and are still in contact with many of them today and get together occasionally with them. After my mom and other professionals in the community met with Schaumburg Township District Library, this was also after the Passage at Harper College had ended, there was another new group formed called Next Gen at the Schaumburg Library. So they also have things once a month, different kinds of things, speakers and such. And we were also able to rebirth Passage with the help of Clearbrook, which, as if people know, is a disability organization, and that's still going to this day. The rebirth of Passage occurred because the original Passage participant wanted to form a group specifically for individuals post-transition, so like ages 22 and older, kind of out of that, high school, college age, kind of after that. And it's a more fun social group. Sometimes we have a speaker, other times we just kind of hang out. So through Passage, we learned of many different organizations for adults with ASD, and that of course included Aspiritech. So I first was invited to participate in some extracurricular activities with Aspiritech, and eventually that's how I became then a software tester. This was back a while ago, you guys, in like 2012-ish. And then after a time, I left Aspiritech to work on other jobs like Office Max, but early last year I started participating in Stepping Up and Out, and then was able to move into a position helping with it, which I still am in today. So I think everyone hopefully knows what Stepping Up and Out is, but just in case, I'm going to do a quick review. Yeah. So it's the social programming offered here at Aspiritech, and it is open to not just testers, but also other people in the community. So feel free, if you know other people with ASD who don't work here or similar disabilities, feel free to invite them, let them know. It usually meets on Sundays, but sometimes we switch it around for special event stuff. We've done, or do Saturdays if me and Brian are busy on Sunday. So we do meetings just here, kind of, where we have talks and do stuff here, and we also do outings where we've gone to various places. Some of the stuff we did just this summer, we did mini golf. We went to the Botanic Gardens. We went to the Lincoln Park Zoo. We went to Ravinia. So yeah, we've done a lot of cool stuff, and I'll continue. We'll do that.
I wanted to do the mini golf one, but I had something else come up there.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, and we've done some other stuff too. I know we've went to sporting events and other stuff like that. Yeah, Courtney knows. And so like I said, feel free to invite. Yeah, I'll,
What future events are we gonna do for here?
it's planned. So we usually send out emails. I don't know if you're on the email distribution list.
I think of one.
I
Can you
think
think of
you-
one?
Yeah, I'm sorry I haven't responded to any of them.
No, that's okay.
Think of anything out of the ordinary?
We're
I
we're
have so
hoping
many
to do a
ideas.
corn maze
I
this
would love
fall.
Fun.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
try to come home on weekends to do interesting events.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one of the ones we're hoping to
Okay.
do. We're still working on planning that. Yeah, but yeah. Like I said, feel free. It's open to you guys as well as other people you know.
For
so
ideas?
Feel free. And if you have, that was my other thing. Yes, if you have ideas too, feel free to either come talk to me or send me an email. Even if it's if you think it's crazy or it can't be done, still send it because you never know. You know, a generous benefactor may just donate like $1 million or whatever, and then on the off chance that does happen, I am more than willing to like do a trip. Yeah, out of the state or whatever, you know, we can, if we get $1 million, hey, I'll do Disney World. I've been there a lot. I'm very good at touring people through Disney World. Yeah, I'm totally open to that. So yeah.
But that's not happening now.
Right, that's not happening now. But if any of you know very rich people who like to give away money,
Management
please suggest
spoken,
them.
yeah. All right.
Yeah. So that's it. So I'm open for questions,
Comments,
comments, and concerns.
questions?
Yeah.
Well, I had a question for
Yeah.
you, which is, this is something I might have posed a similar question before, but like between to you, like I think a problem often occurs like when you said that you were not well received by other freshmen or somebody, maybe somebody else who said wasn't very well received by other freshmen.
Oh, it was actually in the junior high. He was like so badly mistreated by his peers in junior high that by the time he got to like freshman high school, like he didn't want to have anything to do with anyone.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so then the thing about that is like, in your what's the best way to transcend that? Do you think it's the best solution is just to kind of wait till everybody else grows up?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's definitely the immaturity of like teens and stuff. That's definitely an issue. And as people become adults, they realize that some of the like stuff they did in high school is like really not like appropriate, and probably regret how they treated people. I think, but
some people do.
Well, yeah, some people do. Some people probably don't, and that's probably a personality flaw on their part. But but I think as far as what like Aspies can do and stuff, is kind of just try to learn, like I said, those social skills and practice. Because unfortunately, like we're in the minority, so and I somewhat hate to say that because I'm like, no, we should be able to be like ourselves. I'm not saying like completely change who you are either, but it's like a fine line, I think, of like staying who you are, but at the same time trying to meet those social norms, because that way, like the neurotypicals and other people, they can just relate to you better, and then it'll be
Yeah.